There's something on top of my body. I think it's alive.
Bill Cosby, a widely acclaimed African-American comedian recognized as America's dad, is best known as the pioneering force behind the highly popular show, The Cosby Show. Cosby has achieved remarkable success throughout his career and has shown unwavering dedication to philanthropy and charitable work, significantly impacting numerous individuals and organizations. However, these positive perceptions were shattered by disturbing allegations of mistreatment. While initially hard to believe, the sheer number of women stepping forward with similar accounts of being drugged by Cosby tarnished his image as the cherished America's dad. While the public was struggling to believe that, another devastating news about him was released. Eager to know more? Sit tight as we delve into the distressing new revelations surrounding Bill Cosby. Years ago, 9 women filed a lawsuit against Bill Cosby in Nevada, taking advantage of a recent change in state law that eliminated the statute of limitations for civil cases. The lawsuit, filed in the U.S. District Court for Nevada, alleges that Cosby used his power, fame, and influence to isolate and mishandle each of the 9 women named in the lawsuit. These courageous women are Janice Dickinson, Liselott Lublin, Janice Baker Kinney, Lily Bernard, Heidi Thomas, Linda Kirkpatrick, Rebecca Cooper, Pam Joy Abeta, and Angela Leslie. NBC News Daily anchor Kate Snow had an exclusive interview with some of these women. This legal action is part of a larger wave of accusations against Cosby, as over 60 women have accused him of intimate abuse ranging from groping to Many of these allegations are decades old but are being pursued as states update laws related to sexual misconduct cases. Andrew Wyatt, the spokesperson for Bill Cosby, once accused the women of being attention-seeking and greedy. Wyatt expressed that they will not stand by and allow these women to continue making allegations against Mr. Cosby without facing them in the public eye and the courtroom. This statement comes after Cosby has consistently denied all accusations against him. It's important to note that although Cosby has not been convicted of any criminal charges, he was found civilly liable for molesting Judy Huth at the Playboy Mansion in Los Angeles in 1975 when she was 16. His attorneys have vehemently denied her claims and called her a liar. Even at that, can the other 60 other women be lying? In other related news, Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo recently signed a bill that eliminated the civil statute of limitations in cases involving adults. Before this, the state had a 2-year cutoff for adults who had to bring their cases to court. The lawsuit mentions that Lublin, a native of Nevada, is one of the women who has accused Cosby. She, along with other Cosby accusers, played a significant role in advocating for the new legislation that has made this new civil claim possible. Lublin has publicly alleged that Cosby drugged her at a hotel in Las Vegas in 1989. She claimed she met him in his room for an acting evaluation with improvisation. According to the lawsuit, Cosby offered her 2 drinks to help her relax, only to find herself feeling disoriented. After a short while, he embraced her. Lublin further alleged that she was forcibly taken into a bedroom and rough-handled. According to the lawsuit, Baker Kinney, another accuser, was reportedly invited to a party at Cosby's home in Reno, Nevada in 1982. However, when she arrived, Cosby was alone and offered her what she believed to be barbiturates, causing her to lose consciousness. She awoke briefly to find her pants undone and Cosby's hand inside her open blouse before he moved her to a bedroom. When she regained consciousness again, she found herself naked in bed with Cosby, who was touching her inappropriately. In 2018, Heidi Thomas and Janice Baker Kinney testified against Bill Cosby in his Pennsylvania criminal case. Cosby was charged with 3 felony counts of aggravated indecent assault. He was initially convicted of drugging and assaulting Andrea Constand in 2004, but his conviction was vacated by Pennsylvania's Supreme Court 2021 due to being denied protection against self-incrimination. Thomas testified that Cosby flew her to his home in Reno under the pretense of helping her career. she traveled from Denver in 1984 believing she was going for a mentoring session with Cosby. In the lawsuit, it stated that after struggling with a scene, Cosby offered her an alcoholic beverage to help. Upon sipping the drink, she lost consciousness and woke up to Cosby on her. In a lawsuit, Bernard alleged that she met Cosby in 1990, who offered to be her mentor. Cosby invited her to Las Vegas in the fall of 1990, promising a meeting with producers for the show A Different World. However, during a mentoring session at his hotel suite, Bernard claimed she was drugged after drinking a non-alcoholic beverage, which she later believed had been spiked by Cosby. She recounted waking up naked with Cosby also undressed nearby. Despite her fierce refusal, Bernard claimed that Cosby forcefully had his way into her, stating that she was unable to fight for long due to the effects of the drink she had consumed earlier. 5 women, including Bernard, filed a lawsuit against Cosby in New York, narrating similar ordeals, including despicable acts that took place on the set of The Cosby Show. Despite denials from his representatives, all the narration from these women often echoes the point that they were all offered a drink, hence losing consciousness before being molested. Kirkpatrick, one of the accusers, claims she met Cosby in 1981 while playing tennis in Las Vegas. He allegedly invited her to a show where she was given a beverage that caused her to black out shortly after drinking it. Kirkpatrick alleges that she woke up on the floor of Cosby's dressing room with Cosby right on her. How devastating can this be? In another lawsuit, it was alleged that Cosby met Cooper at a health club where she worked as a massage therapist. He invited her to dinner and one of his shows and asked for her services to help with a tennis injury. Cooper claimed she was offered a drink that she now believes was spiked. She said she began having trouble walking on the way to his dressing room, only to be molested thereafter. The lawsuit also stated that Cosby invited Dickinson to Lake Tahoe in 1982 to discuss work opportunities. During dinner, Cosby offered Dickinson a pill after she complained of cramps, according to the suit. Shortly afterward, she felt disoriented and dizzy. It was alleged that Cosby violated her while ignoring her pleas and cry, but all those were nothing but the tip of the iceberg. In the late 1980s or early 1990s, Cosby invited Leslie to Las Vegas to mentor her acting career, as stated in the lawsuit. During their time together, Cosby offered Leslie a drink and initiated an acting exercise. However, the situation took a disturbing turn when Cosby forcefully mishandled her. In 1979, while accompanied by a friend, Abeta journeyed from California to Las Vegas, where she had the opportunity to meet Cosby in his dressing room following one of his performances. Subsequently, she was invited to a dinner show with Cosby and others, where she was reportedly provided with a beverage. As she began to feel dizzy, she received assistance back to Cosby's suite, where he allegedly joined her after the dinner show. According to the lawsuit, Cosby administered a pill to her without her consent, and she later woke up in his bedroom to find him naked on her. She later discovered bruises on her legs. Cosby also faced a civil lawsuit filed by former Playboy model Victoria Valentino in California. She accused Cosby of similar acts that happened in 1969, an allegation that Cosby has denied. The multiple accusations made against Bill Cosby can't be trivialized as they are from several women from across the world, leaving us to ask, who indeed is Bill Cosby? Let's take a brief look at his life. William Henry Cosby Jr. entered the world in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on July 12, 1937. He was born into a family with 3 other sons to Anna Pearl, a dedicated maid, and William Henry Cosby Sr., who served as a mess steward in the U.S. Navy. During his years at Mary Channing Wister Public School in Philadelphia, Cosby excelled as the class president and stood out as the baseball and track and field team captain. Although his teachers noticed his penchant for humor and his tendency to joke around rather than focus on his studies, Cosby described himself as the class clown. Cosby further pursued his education at Philadelphia's Central High School, a challenging magnet school renowned for its college preparatory program. He actively participated in track, baseball, football, and basketball. Later, he transferred to Germantown High School, but unfortunately did not succeed in the 10th grade. In 1956, Bill Cosby joined the Navy. He was a hospital corpsman at various locations, including the Marine Corps Base Quantico in Virginia, Naval Station Argentia in Newfoundland, Canada, and the National Naval Medical Center in Maryland. His responsibilities involved working in physical therapy with Navy and Marine Corps personnel injured during the Korean War. Cosby dedicated himself to this role until 1960, achieving the rank of Petty Officer 3rd Class. After completing correspondence courses and obtaining his high school equivalency diploma, Cosby was awarded a track and field scholarship to Temple University in 1961. At Temple, he pursued studies in physical education, participated in track and field events, and played as a fullback for the university's football team. His journey towards an entertainment career began when he started bartending at a club in Philadelphia. During this time, Cosby discovered his talent for making people laugh and eventually took to the stage to pursue a comedy career, leaving his university studies behind. In 1971, Bill Cosby decided to continue his formal education. Temple University acknowledged his life experience and awarded him a bachelor's degree. Subsequently, he pursued graduate studies at UMass Amherst, successfully attaining a Master of Arts in 1972. Returning to UMass Amherst in 1976, Cosby simultaneously worked on producing Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids while completing his Doctor of Education degree. His doctoral dissertation, titled An Integration of the Visual Media via Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids into the Elementary School Curriculum as a Teaching Aid and Vehicle to Achieve Increased Learning, showcased his dedication to education. Bill Cosby's early acting role in the espionage series Why Spy marked a significant milestone. He became the first black actor to take on a leading dramatic role on network television. His compelling portrayal of a black secret agent earned him 3 Emmy Awards and played a key role in advancing the representation of African Americans on TV. Following this success, Cosby worked on various television projects, including The Bill Cosby Specials, the sitcom The Bill Cosby Show, the variety show The New Bill Cosby Show, and the popular animated series Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. He also appeared in numerous commercials and made guest appearances on children's shows like Sesame Street and Electric Company. In addition to his television work, Cosby also tried his hand at feature films, although they achieved only moderate success. Bill Cosby's most iconic achievement was The Cosby Show, aired on NBC from 1984 to 1992, and gained immense popularity as one of the most beloved sitcoms in television history. The show portrayed an affluent African-American family with Cosby's character as a doctor and his wife as a lawyer, purposefully eschewing racial stereotypes. The Cosby Show was widely embraced across cultural boundaries and received numerous prestigious awards. Following the conclusion of The Cosby Show, Cosby starred in the series Cosby, where his former Cosby Show co-star Felicia Rashad reprised her role as his wife. In 1997, Cosby received an honorary doctorate in education from the University of Massachusetts. In 1984, he was honored with induction into the Television Hall of Fame. Additionally, his comedy recordings earned him a total of 8 Grammy Awards. Notably, in 1986, Cosby penned the best-selling book Fatherhood. Both tragedy and activism marked Bill Cosby's life. In 1997, his son Ennis was tragically shot and killed while changing a tire on a Los Angeles freeway. In response to this devastating loss, Bill and his wife Camille established the Hello Friend and Ennis William Cosby Foundation to honor their son's memory and support teachers working with students with learning disabilities. Throughout his career, Cosby has been a vocal advocate for higher education within the African American community and emphasized the importance of family support. In 2008, he took a surprising turn by releasing the hip-hop album Cosby Narratives Volume 1, State of Emergency, which showcased his unique blend of jazz, pop, and funk. Interestingly, the album veered from the explicit language typically associated with hip-hop music, reflecting Cosby's values. Despite the numerous allegations that have surfaced against Cosby, he has maintained a somewhat indifferent attitude toward the situation. This has raised eyebrows and continues to generate public interest. And as the media probed further, they were shocked to discover more devastating details about him. What was this discovery? In a 2006 depositions released to the public for the first time on July 18, 2015, Bill Cosby made several disturbing statements, providing insight into his beliefs about intimacy, drugs, and pursuing women in his own words. Though he has never been charged with a crime or found guilty of the misconduct he's been accused of, the revelations from the deposition were unsettling. They contradicted the public image of a beloved father figure and public moralist that Cosby had long enjoyed in the United States, including being awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2002. During the intense four-day questioning in a Philadelphia hotel, Cosby admitted to once seducing a young model by pretending to be interested in her father's cancer. At the deposition, Cosby openly confessed to obtaining 7 prescriptions for Quaaludes from a doctor in Los Angeles during the 1970s. These prescriptions were initially for treating a sore back, but Cosby admitted to giving the pills to young women instead. During that era, Quaaludes were a popular party drug, and Cosby indicated that he offered the drugs to women in the same way a person would offer a drink. On the night of the alleged incident with plaintiff Andrea Constant, Cosby claimed that he gave her only 1.5 tablets of Benadryl, an allergy medicine to help her relax. He stated that the intimate act was based on mutual concept. However, the plaintiff's attorney argued that it was a much more potent drug than Benadryl. Cosby displayed complete indifference during questioning, maintaining his composure even when confronted by the plaintiff's lawyer. "I think you're trivializing a very serious situation," she said. "That may very well be," Cosby responded. In the deposition, it was revealed that the plaintiff's mother had once called Bill Cosby, distressed by her daughter's allegations. Concerned about being perceived as a lecherous older man, Cosby expressed a desire for Miss Constant to disclose the details of their encounter to her mother, hoping she would then understand that their intimacy had been consensual. Despite being married to his wife Camille since 1964, Cosby nonchalantly discussed ending a relationship with a model to pursue other women during the deposition. He also admitted to charming young women by inviting them to private dinners at various residences. He vividly recounted a particular evening at his Pennsylvania residence, where he had meticulously arranged for cognac, a crackling fire, an exquisite meal crafted by his chef, and ambient dimmed lighting. Cosby went on to narrate a moment when he guided the woman to the secluded space of his back porch, away from the gaze of his chef. "I gently gathered her hair, pulled it back, and positioned her face like this," he recounted. "I spoke to her about relaxation and inner strength and invited her in, indicating her physical presence." While on the porch that evening, Cosby revealed that he maintained proximity to the woman, abstaining from kissing her as he sensed her reluctance. Subsequently, at their next shared meal, Cosby described a sensual encounter, noting that the woman radiated with contentment after the intimate exchange. Mr. Cosby disclosed that he revealed one of his extramarital relationships with his wife in 1997, but took significant measures to conceal his infidelity from her. He admitted to obstructing magazine articles and channeling money to one woman through his agent to prevent his wife from discovering his affairs. Regarding Andrea Constant, Cosby stated that his wife might have been aware that he was financially assisting the woman with her education, but would likely not have known the true reason behind it. He emphasized that he is trustworthy and conscientious because he does not disclose intimate details about his relationships. In the deposition, Mr. Cosby detailed engaging in with at least 5 women and expressing romantic interest in at least 2 others. He mentioned, however, that he generally avoided engaging in with the women because he was concerned about them developing romantic feelings for him. According to him, was something that he believed would lead the woman to feel more deeply connected to him emotionally rather than a playful interaction. It seems that he preferred to keep the interactions lighthearted. Cosby claimed to have a skill for interpreting nonverbal cues indicating a woman's consent. He stated, "I consider myself quite perceptive in reading people and their emotions in these romantic encounters, or whatever you want to call them." During the deposition, Bill Cosby recounted an encounter with a 19-year-old aspiring model. It began with the young woman sending him a poem she had written and culminated in her massaging him with lotion on his sofa. In a case brought by Miss Constant against Cosby nearly a decade ago, 13 other women also came forward with anonymous sworn statements alleging that they, too, had been abused by the comedian in some way. Regrettably, these women never had the opportunity to pursue their claims in court because Cosby reached a settlement with Miss Constant on undisclosed terms before they had the chance. Throughout his deposition, Bill Cosby portrayed himself as someone who used his fame and experience to pursue women in a calculated manner. Unfortunately, his fame and reputation have been overshadowed by the allegations against him. Despite numerous allegations, Cosby has consistently emerged victorious, often only facing financial penalties. This raises the question, is money the gateway to violating multiple women? Let's explore the factors contributing to Cosby's repeated legal successes. The Cosby Show portrayed an idealized representation of wholesome family values and often tackled challenging social issues of its time. Bill Cosby, the show's star, was known for his philanthropic work and positive societal contributions. However, amidst these accolades, more than 100 women have come forward with disturbing allegations against Mr. Cosby. These women accuse him of leading a double life, alleging that behind his public persona, he was a serial abuser and adulterer. The stories of quaaludes and non-consensual intimate encounters have garnered widespread attention and condemnation. One of the most prominent accusers is Andrea Constant, who filed a civil lawsuit in 2005, claiming that Mr. Cosby mishandled her. This legal battle ended with a settlement, severing Mr. Cosby's long-standing ties with Temple University, where Miss Constant was employed. In recent years, Cosby's deposition in the Constant case was made public due to legal actions regarding the confidentiality of a settlement. His admissions during this deposition led to criminal charges against him in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. Despite the trial ending in a hung jury, the Montgomery District Attorney pursued a retrial against Mr. Cosby after most jurors leaned towards a conviction. The defense's strategy of blaming the alleged victims was particularly shocking and offensive to many, especially considering the numerous women who came forward with similar allegations. The allegations against Mr. Cosby all involve situations where the victim was acquainted with him. This type of assault is commonly known as which occurs when the perpetrator is someone known to the victim, such as a date, classmate, co-worker, family member, or even a trusted professional like a counselor or doctor. Statistics indicate that only around 2% of such cases are reported, meaning that out of 100 victims, only 2 may come forward. The available data indicates that out of approximately 100 individuals who claim to be victims of assault, the statistics suggest that only 2 of them would report the assault. In this case, only 1 victim, Miss Constant, did so. Therefore, the lack of reporting by other alleged victims does not necessarily indicate Mr. Cosby's innocence, but rather it aligns with statistical expectations. Why don't the victims report the crime? This can be attributed to factors such as not recognizing themselves as victims, choosing not to accept their status as victims, or being under the influence of alcohol or drugs at the time of the assault. Others do not report due to a variety of reasons, such as feeling ashamed, blaming themselves, fearing disbelief, wanting to avoid social or familial controversy, or not wanting to get their acquaintance in trouble. It's important to highlight that substance use is a common element in the allegations against Mr. Cosby. Additionally, Mr. Cosby has confessed to providing drugs on multiple occasions and obtained a prescription for Quaaludes from a gynecologist whose medical license was later revoked. In the case of Mr. Cosby, as a famous and powerful figure with an untarnished reputation, it's understandable why his alleged victims would fear not being believed. There's also the harmful stereotype that all these women are motivated by money, which can further discourage victims from coming forward. It seems that it is unlikely for alleged victims to receive compensation from Mr. Cosby, as most of the alleged fall outside the statutes of limitations for filing a civil lawsuit. As of November 2015, only 8 related civil lawsuits were active against Mr. Cosby, and some of those are the result of Mr. Cosby's alleged defamatory statements made against his accusers and not related to alleged violations. Furthermore, most of his accusers came forward long after the statute of limitations for a civil suit had passed. There has been speculation that there are opportunities to make large sums of money from potential book deals. However, it's important to note that the book market may not offer the same financial rewards it once did, especially for high-profile people. Additionally, suggestions have been made about making money from paid interviews. Still, it's unlikely that big dollars would be offered to interview an alleged victim of an aging comedian whose criminal trial is no longer making headlines. The financial motives of Mr. Cosby's accusers are virtually non-existent. If money were their objective, they would have sought medical or legal help first, as civil lawsuits require evidence for success. Quotes such as, "They knew what they were there for," and "Who takes pills from someone?" underscore the idea that a person's decision to consume drugs and alcohol does not imply consent. It's clear in the law that an incapacitated individual cannot provide consent for intimacy. Moreover, the desire to socialize with a powerful figure does not indicate consent to be mishandled or disrespected. Additionally, accepting pills from Mr. Cosby should not be equated with consent. There was a casual culture around pills in the past comparable to the prevalent marijuana culture today. Therefore, taking pills from someone then would have been analogous to accepting a marijuana blunt from someone now. The phenomenon of multiple assault victims coming forward at once is often observed in cases of serial abuse. Many survivors do not immediately report their experiences for various reasons. When one survivor finds the courage to speak out, it can encourage others to do the same. This pattern has been observed in previous cases of serial abuse, such as those involving the Catholic Church priesthood and the Penn State Sandusky case. This pattern reflects the fear and reluctance associated with serial abuse cases rather than a pattern indicative of false allegations or a pursuit of profit. False allegations driven by financial motives are typically reported without delay. Upon Cosby's arrest and subsequent sentencing to jail, many were shocked when he was released after serving only a few years. But why? Let's delve into the details. Bill Cosby was released from prison following the overturning of his conviction by Pennsylvania's highest court. The court stated that the actor's due process rights had been violated. This turn of events marks a significant reversal for the man once known as America's Dad, and stands out as the first high-profile celebrity criminal trial of the Me Too era. The Pennsylvania State Supreme Court judges highlighted in their opinion that a former Montgomery County District Attorney's decision not to prosecute Cosby in 2005 in exchange for his deposition in a civil case was later used against him at trial. The judges concluded that the decision by subsequent district attorneys to prosecute Cosby went against his due process rights in light of these circumstances. In 2018, following his conviction for drugging and Andrea Constand in 2004, Bill Cosby, then 83 years old, was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in a state prison. Recently, wearing a white t-shirt, Cosby made a brief public appearance outside his Pennsylvania home. He did not address the reporters present. Jennifer Bongine, Cosby's attorney, stated, "He is extremely happy to be home." She added that the past 3 years have been challenging for the entire family and that his release is a great relief. In a tweet, Cosby expressed his gratitude to his supporters, captioning a photo of himself. Bill Cosby's release from prison sparked widespread discussion, particularly in the context of the numerous allegations brought against him by more than 100 women. His case brought significant attention to the issue of particularly in instances where the alleged perpetrator holds a position of power and influence. Despite the overturning of his conviction, Cosby's legacy has been permanently affected by the accusations, and for many, his release felt like a blow to the momentum of the Me Too movement, which has sought to hold powerful figures accountable. The Me Too movement has empowered many survivors to speak out, and Cosby's trial became a symbol of the struggle for justice in cases of sexual violence. However, Cosby's release highlights the complexities and limitations of the legal system, where procedural errors or legal technicalities can sometimes overshadow the broader questions of justice and accountability. For many of Cosby's accusers, his release felt like a betrayal, undermining the courage it took to come forward. Nonetheless, the attention his case received helped open the door for more conversations about and the barriers victims face in seeking justice. His legacy will likely remain one of both professional success and profound controversy. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Before you go, explore the other exciting videos available on your screen.